Are there malicious aliens lurking in space waiting to destroy us? Are we in danger because we send signals into space and draw attention to ourselves? That's exactly what the dark forest theory says, and today we'll be clarifying just how great the alien threat really is. So please stay tuned until the end, and if you like it, I would be delighted to receive a thumbs up and a comment for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you guys and welcome. Who here is a Star Trek fan? Surely some of you are, and you probably know the Borg, an artificial life form that consists of a collective of beings and aims to assimilate other civilizations. The Borg don't seem to care much about the diplomatic or cultural differences of other civilizations and use their advanced technology to assimilate or destroy other civilizations. This leads us directly to the dark forest theory, according to which civilizations remain silent and hide from other species, such as the Borg, for fear of conflict and extinction. The probability that there is a species like the Borg somewhere in our galaxy is not that low, because the Milky Way consists of 100 billion star systems, so some kind of life should have formed somewhere there, and the fact that we have not found any of it yet, given the probable existence of extraterrestrial life, is called the Fermi paradox. Or in other words, the Fermi paradox is the apparent discrepancy between the high probability of the existence of extraterrestrial life in the universe and the lack of clear evidence of its existence. And that's where the dark forest comes in, and I'll give you a hint. It's going to be scary. Mom, Astro Tim is scaring me again. The dark forest theory states that there are many intelligent civilizations in the universe, but that they remain silent and hide out of fear of conflict and extinction by other species, like in a dark forest where you'd better stay quiet because you know a deadly hunter is on the prowl, like in the Predator movie. Star Trek Predator, let's see how many pop culture references I can get into this video. The dark forest theory was first proposed by Chinese science fiction author Liu Cixin in his novel Three Sons, and has since attracted a lot of attention in the scientific community and among science fiction fans. So we're not talking about completely far-fetched nonsense here, but about something that scientists consider to be realistic. Okay, scientists often consider even far-fetched nonsense to be realistic. The theory is based on the assumption that the alien civilization in the Milky Way, that is the first to advance to the point where it can travel interstellar, has a massive advantage. If a species is the first to develop the ability to travel between stars, it could dominate, control, or even completely wipe out other civilizations that have not yet advanced so far. This would make sense in order to maintain this supremacy. This is also called the first mover advantage. If you use the technological advantage to be able to detect other intelligent life forms in the galaxy and then destroy them directly, then no competition can ever develop. It's a bit like Microsoft after they released Internet Explorer, burned down all the other tech companies so that no one could ever release another browser. Then we would all have to use Internet Explorer today. Let's think this through. If such an advanced and aggressive species actually exists, it means that civilizations that are too loud and communicative are at greater risk of being discovered and attacked. Therefore, it would only make sense to keep very quiet and to hide in order to ensure one's own survival. It would then also make sense for advanced extraterrestrials to develop technology to hide the signals and traces of their own existence, for example by encrypting their communication or retreating to darker regions of space. To what extent is this an answer to the Fermi paradox? Well, that would mean that the Milky Way is full of aliens and alien species and civilizations, but they are hiding and keeping very quiet. And that's why we haven't found any signs of them yet, because they don't want to be discovered by the predator species. The Milky Way would then be a dark forest. And impossible to discover, alien species are hiding everywhere in the galactic thicket. In my opinion, this is not at all unrealistic. We know from human history that technological advances have often been used to conquer, enslave, and oppress more primitive populations. We also know that hiding is a common survival strategy in nature. If you combine this and apply it to a galactic scale, then the dark forest seems realistic. I would be interested to hear your opinion. What do you think of the dark forest theory? Realistic or complete nonsense? I would love to hear your arguments in the comments, and I hope that we can get an exciting discussion going. Let's assume that there might be something to the dark forest theory. What grade would you give humanity's current behavior? The worst, more likely, because we are constantly drawing attention to ourselves. We send out radio waves and other electromagnetic signals to communicate with satellites and space probes, to broadcast our television and radio programs, and to exchange data between different places on Earth. These signals also spread through the universe and can, of course, theoretically be received by other species. So if the galaxy is a dark forest where everyone is hiding, then we are the mad white rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, who you just have to follow to make a delicious rabbit stew out of him.
Ha! I knew I'd get another pop culture reference in the video.
Taking the dark forest seriously is dangerous, and there is even a scale to measure it. The San Marino scale, named after the tiny state of San Marino where it was developed. The San Marino scale measures the danger of signals that we send into space. So if we were to send our favorite soap opera into space, that would be a 1, the lowest value on the scale, because no sensible being in the universe would want to approach a planet that produces such broadcasts. If we were to send a message to all the billions of exoplanets in the galaxy saying, we have lots of raw materials, we are suicidal and want to be wiped out, then that would be a 10 on the San Marino scale. So how should we behave in the face of the potential existence of the dark forest? The very thing that is always exemplified in Star Trek could be our downfall. An important message in Star Trek is the idea of diplomacy and peaceful coexistence between different species. The series provides many examples of how the different alien races and cultures interact with each other in a respectful and cooperative manner to resolve conflicts, and ultimately everyone benefits. It is precisely this Star Trek mindset that could tragically be our downfall if we venture out of our hiding place and are then annihilated by the Borg or Klingons with a flick of the finger. But there is also some good news. Researchers have now discovered that a lot of aliens in the Milky Way are being crushed by their moons, no joke. Find out all about this incredible new discovery and whether we have to be afraid of our moon in the video below. Be sure to check it out, and if you want to support the channel, subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss any more exciting space videos. Otherwise, I'd say see you in the next video. Take care, friends.